All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to, I'll name the segment later, GTG Spits That Grease, so on and so forth, title forever in the works. Let's go ahead and just get right into this because I'm already like a day or two behind. I'm recording this on the 25th. This whole thing kind of popped off on the 23rd, and I've been meaning to put it on wax, and I just haven't had a chance to do it yet. So, what I'm talking about, if the title hasn't given me away yet, was the roughly $700. I think he made about $850 that day, to be honest. But was the $700 of anonymous, in air quotes, donations, were they prearranged or were they faked? And then I want to get into a much larger scope, if you will, if you allow me to paint that picture. And I want to speak on how DSP actually used that scenario to go ahead and divide the viewer base to either get them to basically get them to support the Pokemon stuff, not tolerate it, but to support the Pokemon stuff and support the gaming stuff as well. On top of that, we're going to go even further, and I'm going to basically delve on the idea that it doesn't really matter if it was prearranged or fake, because DSP wanted, and he has it, he wanted goals to be reestablished. Now he has it. On top of that, he has his new piggy bank, Pokemon. He's going to go along with that. If he can draw in Kino Casino to throw more dirt on his name, to get him more publicity for the numbskullery that's coming out of this Pokemon thing, that works out for him, and he hopes that'll lead to getting Asmongold's attention again, so based all this bullshit and go from there. I'm gonna try to tackle some of this stuff. So that's what's kind of going to be going on with this. I have some B-roll for you too. We're not going to actually go over the video itself, but if there's anything that I feel that's relevant, I'll have it edited in. But for the most part, it's just B-roll. It's just in the background. Because that's all DSP is, B-roll, when it's all said and done. So, was the $500 and then the $200 that ended up coming behind that, both anonymous by the way, were they fake or were they prearranged? To be honest with you, they could have been both. Were they faked? Okay, well, if we're gonna even approach this argument, we have to actually look at what happened on the 22nd, on the daily wipe. Sorry, he calls it daily wrap, it's really the daily wipe. It's the time of the night where he gets to wipe his own ass about everything that went on in the day, cry, bitch, and complain and whatnot, get burped. They clean his ass up, put him in a new pair of diapers, and send his ass off the bed. Just in case you guys wanted to know why I call it the daily wipe. The reality is he went into the daily wipe on the 22nd, irritated that people were saying that there was too much Pokemon content on the channel. And DSP was trying to reinforce, hey, this is what's paying the bills right now. This is what's getting us through. If you guys keep saying, or some of you keep saying, a demographic, if you will, keep saying that, hey, if you guys really want me to play all these games leading into remasters or remakes that are coming out next year, or if you guys want me to get hype and play certain games leading up to the new games that are going to drop later on the year or later on the summer, cool. Where are you? You're not here giving me money. You're not here even showing, supporting the content on stream, and you're definitely not watching the videos after the fact on demand. So where are you?
We had a DSP morning show that was very interesting because it discussed the Steam machine, which finally has all of its stats released. Everyone now knows what this thing's going to cost, and we talked all about that. It was a very interesting morning show. Then we jumped into Resident Evil Code Veronica X for 2.5 hours, and then we had DSP Tries It. The late stream tonight was TCG Card Shop Sim, which was meant to be the card-related content for the day. So you might say, oh, that's a good balance, right? Right. And it's funny because I got people coming by and saying, you're doing too much Pokemon, you're doing too much card shop, etc. I'm like, okay, that's why I'm balancing it. So I need to ask an honest question of everyone. If people are fed up and saying you're doing too much Pokemon, you're doing too much card shop, then where are you when I'm doing other stuff? Because I am. Not every stream is all card shop stuff. Last night we played Mina the Hollower. We had low attendance and nearly no support. When I stopped playing Mina, all of a sudden people rallied and had a chill with Phil night and they supported the stream. What happened? Today, Resident Evil, Code Veronica X. Everyone says, Phil, we really want you to play this game right now because they just announced the remake. It's coming out next year. It'd be great to see you do a second playthrough. You've only played this game once ever, 11 years ago. to see it more in a modern setting with an interactive audience, which you didn't have back then. And then you can directly compare this with the new one. We want that. Okay, I'll give you what you want. And then I played the game today. And I'm going to be honest with everyone. It didn't go well at all. Okay, so let's talk. We did start with the morning.
Now, DSP's argument on that, which is hilarious, by the way, comes down to the most simple, basically the simple arithmetic. He doesn't make any money on YouTube, to be honest. All of the money he makes is off begging. He doesn't make any money off of the streams, really. He doesn't make any money off of the VODs, right? He's not even really making money off gifted subs or memberships. Same thing with Kick. That's the reason why he gave everybody amnesty not too long ago. Because if there's no viewership, smaller pay rate for the hour, smaller paycheck each and every week. He think he's clever, but he's not. But that's what it comes down to. It's simple math. He's having liquidity issues. He can't raise capital. So we're doing whatever we can, and we will. He will drive anything and everything into the ground if it's making him capital. And that's all it comes down to. It's easy, and Pokemon is doing it. Whether it's people giving him hate donations, more than likely dent tractors, or real dents that are actually involved, or even if there are people from the Pokemon community who just want to do this to spite other guys in the Pokemon community. That's a real thing, by the way. That's like, someone dropped me a line on that, and that's a very interesting. That's very interesting that people are willing to spite other people just to do it. So whatever. I need to go ahead and get into my DIA investigation shit and ponder that further and do some more investigating. But if that's really what it is, we're supporting DSP just to get over on other guys in the Pokemon community that we don't like because they were called grifters or scammers or whatever at one time or another, and you couldn't resolve your beef that way. So, oh, go ahead and give money to Dark Side Phil because you got guys that are already pissed off at him anyway, or at least are already mocking him anyway. Whatever. I'm just here to report on it. So there's that. So the reality is if you go from the night of the 22nd, hey, you guys want gameplay? I'm giving you gameplay. You're not supporting it. Fuck you guys. We're doing this Pokemon shit. Going into what you guys see on screen now for the 23rd, he's basically like, hey, the Pokemon cards are what paying the bills. You know what I'm saying? I do want to play more games. I understand that most of you are believing. I'm overcommitting. I'm doing too much of the card game stuff and other games that are card game eccentric or allow him to beg and grift off Pokemon cards. I get all that. Or he gets all that. But you guys need to come out and support the games. If you guys really want me to play games, you need to support it. If not, I'm going to keep doing the Pokemon stuff because it's supplemental until the new games come out. That's his idea. That's his whole premise. Now, after that long explanation, and probably unnecessary, now we get into whether it's fake or prearranged. If it's fake, it doesn't matter, because if it's fake, then at the end of the day, that lie, he needs that lie to persist, because at the end of the day, it helps reinforce the people who do like the Pokemon stuff and are really only there to support that. And at least in his mind, oddly shaped head, if you will, he believes there are more Pokemon supporters than people for his actual gameplay. So if you got to tell them a lie and say, hey, this potential $500/$700, hey, someone gave me $700 for Pokemon, even though it's a lie, it doesn't matter, because it goes ahead and gives the positive reinforcement to the people who do like Pokemon. They're gonna be like, hey, there are other people out there like me. I need to jump on that. I need to support it. And for DSP, I don't know why we keep having this discussion, but I'm here for it. Money or his ego.
For example, this is one of them right here, Destined Rivals. It's a set from, I think it was either early last year or late the year before. And there's like $500 to upwards of $900 cards that are in this set. Okay, multiple ones too, not just one or two, but a bunch. So with this, if someone does $100 contribution on a stream, which is very rare, or if we raise $250 on a particular stream, which again is very rare, then we open a pack of these, okay? And we just instituted this last night, and we opened 2 packs. So basically, the whole Pokemon card thing has been an insane success. I've had streams where we opened 13 packs and made hundreds and hundreds of dollars. It's wild. I never expected that it would catch on like it has. I didn't. Okay, it's wild to think that I now have a Pokemon collection of cards. You know, $300 card here, $100 card here, $50 card here. I think this one is like just under 20, and then these are like teens. You know, I have all these cards that I'm now learning how to sort and everything. It's pretty crazy. Okay, never. So that's number one. Okay, couple shout outs. Looks like Buffalo Bill did another $2 super chat. Again, I'm just not going to read their toxic messages, but I'll accept their money. So thanks for $2 there. Whoa. Wow. So, wow. Hold up. Because this is going to tie directly in to everything that we've been saying. I just received a $500 tip. $500 tip from an anonymous tipper who says, let's rid some packs and do some Pokemon because the Pokemon content is doing huge. $500 tip out of nowhere. I'm not making it up. It actually just happened. I wasn't expecting this because obviously I had a big topic and we're going to do the topic anyway. But it looks like we're doing a lot of cards. All right. So, holy crud. I mean, we're going to go through these cards so fast this week. This is insane. That's so much. I don't even know how many packs we're opening yet. Hold on. Well, thank you so much, obviously, to the person giving $500 on this stream. That's insane. Okay. I'm sweating. I was already sweating because it's going to be 90 degrees today, but now I'm really sweating. $500 is insane, man. Thank you. All right, so we got to do the math, because here's what I mean. Think about how many packs we're going to open on this show, all right? So, because of what we're doing, so first of all, we have a new box. This box will be opened, all right? $50 contribution is a bonus pack, so that's one. Then we're going to do 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500. We're opening 10 packs from this Mega Evolution box right now. 10. And then on top of that, because this person gave so much, we hit multiple milestones. I said every $250 milestone we hit, we'll open a pack. So we've got a $250 milestone that we hit. That's a guaranteed pack. And because this person gave over $100, that's another one. So we're opening 2 of these packs. And then we're opening 10 of these packs. Right now. I guess you want to do one of each. I guess we'll do one of each of these again, like we did last night. So we'll do one here and one here. And then we'll do 10 here. By the way, this box has some promo card in it. And it's my first box of Mega Evolution I had didn't have the promo card. This one does. So I don't know what the promo card is or if it has any value. We'll check it out, okay? So to the anonymous $500 tipper, obviously, thank you so very much. That's amazing. Now we're going to have insane Pokemon content on the Pokemon stream. I really appreciate that. Okay? Okay. So, holy crud. Now, getting to the point that I was making. Let's talk about the topic first, then let's open some Pokemon cards. Okay? So, here we go. I got to put packs to open 10. We're literally opening 10 packs already. So right now, we are on pace to actually have the most packs opened on any stream. Because we're doing 10 regular packs and 2 premium. So you know what? I should put 12. The most we've ever opened on one stream is 13. So we could actually hit a milestone of that too. We could actually hit a record today. If we get more support over the stream, which likely we will, we might actually have the big record for how many packs opened on one stream.
His ego is going to win out. He'll lie, he'll cheat, he'll steal, he'll do whatever to keep his ego intact. Because not only is he trying to convince people to keep giving him money for Pokemon, he doesn't want detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, like myself, running around here calling him an addict, saying this, that, and the third about how much of a failure he is, that he has to rely on a child's card game, and so on and so forth. As long as he can, quote unquote, show the money. He doesn't give a fuck really about what I think. He kind of do, but he don't. He really gives a fuck about what the dents perceive. End of story. It's an easy fix. It's an easy win. Now, with that being said, if it's prearranged, I mean, he has a history of doing that. Like the reason why DSP can sit there and say, we don't know actually how much he makes is for two reasons. One, as it pertains to tips, he's the one who tells you what's legit and what isn't, because he doesn't actually have a payment processor that will let him process tips through their platform so we can actually see it, i.e. Stream Elements or Streamlabs. He's banned from those platforms as it pertains to processing money. He can still use notifications and alerts and their widgets. He just can't process no money through them. So, and then on the second half of that is that DSP gets donations behind the scenes that he doesn't tell people about. He gets donations off stream that he doesn't tell people about. He knows that. And he knows that we know that. And he knows those are the two things. Without those two key factors of the overall equation, he wins. Or he thinks he wins anyway. So with that being said, DSP has never had a problem with sending out a message to his Discord or by email or by DM to someone, hey, you know, things are getting kind of slim over here, it's slim pickings. Can you come through and help out? He's never had a problem doing that before. You know, him putting out the fucking dent signal is a thing for a reason. So that's completely and utterly in his wheelhouse. He has no shame about doing that. Yet again, his ego has to win over, needs the win over all else. And if he has to sacrifice $500, $700 that he probably wasn't going to get anyway, then who gives a shit? If he has to prearrange it with someone just to keep it going, then so be it. For all we know, someone did anonymously send him some money. It may have not have been $500 though. Walk with me on this. Let's say he sends out the dent call and says, hey, I really need some help on this, that, and third. Whatever. Could you send me an anonymous donation? And I'm just going to change what the amount is. Yeah, sure, Phil, whatever. They send him $50. We just add a zero. Then another dent sees someone giving $500 to DSP and be like, oh shit. Well, there are other people out there like me. I'll throw 200 at that so we can go for that whatever record for the most packs ever opened or whatever the case may be. And then voila.
Getting back to the tape. So criticism number one, Phil, you're doing too much Pokemon or card related content right now. That's a valid criticism. I agree with you. It's only because I still can't get this hair that's blocking my eye, by the way. That's only because of the time of year it is, and there's not a lot of games. When more games come out, we'll be doing bigger variety of content. I promise you that. And don't worry, the variety will be coming later in the year. Because here's the thing. I just received another $200 tip. I'm not kidding. Another $200 tip just came in, and this person says, let's break the record then. With that $200 tip, okay, let's do the math. First off, that means another bonus pack for a contribution over 50. Now, we were already at 500, so now we go 550, 600, 650, 700. That's another 4 packs, okay? And that's a $100 contribution in one go, which means that's another pack of these specialty packs. So we're going to be doing 2 of one of the other, and we're going to open 14 packs of the Mega Evolution. We're opening 18 packs of cards right now, which absolutely positively is the new record. Okay, this is nuts, and we're about to do it too. Well, one person tipped $1.50, says, I say screw it, just become a Poketuber. You're a natural at it. You're more interesting than other Poketubers. You hit the algorithm hard. You're honestly a natural at this. Don't let a few hesitant people keep you shackled to an old version of Phil. I pay no attention to it. I don't even know what Poketubers are out there or what they do. I don't know anything about them.
Out of $750, or out of $700, maybe only 250 is actually legit, but it's 250 he didn't have. And then he ends up pulling, and then at the end of the day, or end of that stream, he had like $850. So that's another 150 on top of that. All off a lie, or off of a prearranged situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either which way. At the end of the day, if he can rally the dents and if he can get over on the detractors, that's all that really matters. And if he can use this as another fuck you to the Pokemon community, then so be it. Because he is fighting on 3 fronts. You got to remember that. You know what I'm saying? Adolf Pigler here really is fighting on 3 fronts. So whatever it takes, by any means necessary. Got to remember that. Got to remember that. Now, so that's addressing the prearranged, whether it's fake or prearranged. Let's move on to our next part. We need to garner more attention. We need to get people to really show up, or we need to get ourselves out there in the larger scale when it comes to this. This is where Asmongold and Kino Casino kind of come into play. DSP is desperate. Everybody clearly sees that DSP is desperate by doing this Pokemon shit. Obviously, Kino Casino is going to laugh about that shit. Sooner than later, someone's going to put it on live stream fails or on Twitter or whatever. So it all works out because DSP, being the bitch that DSP is looking at, you know, what happened with the quartering and being like, well, hey, I'm not going to fall as far as quartering did because he doesn't have nearly as much to lose. They're going to eventually get tired of him, especially if quartering is really going to lose his house or whatever the fuck Quarter Pounder is going through right now. Excuse me. So DSP needs that attention back on himself, and he needs it the worst way possible. If this Pokemon gimmick, as stupid as it is, if it'll bring Kino Casino back in, then great. Because that's what he wants anyways. He wants their attention. That's what he wants. He wants their attention. And on top of the other shit that he wants from them too, but he wants their attention. So there's that. Now, this is where this kind of leads, this is all me right here. It's not exactly a Theo theory, because if it was, it'd be good. Big ups to Theo. That leads into the whole situation with Asmongold. DSP needs Asmongold, obviously. But Asmongold reacting to clips of him on live stream fails or in his own personal Reddit or whatever, he's just part of the gimmick. He's just part of the routine. He's part of the, he's just another cog in the machine. DSP needs to try to utilize that. So if you got Asmongold watching a clip of him and being like, oh wow, he's grifting people off Pokemon cards, well, isn't there people that already do that for World of Warcraft, sorry, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or Magic the Gathering, or whatever. Fucking A, that's based. You know what I'm saying? You know, good. Tell him to get his money any way he sees fit, even if he's doing it on the back of something. You know, Asmon will have a laugh at it. It is what it is. Now, is that going to actually give DSP another stimulus check? I don't think so. I think Asmongold is getting to the point, because I think he brought that up, where he said that he was scared to go back on stream with DSP because the last time he was wanting to do so, he ended up catching a ban off Twitch for 3 days or however long it was. So he said he was rather cautious about doing that again. We'll see. But in any case, he's not willing to do that. But Asmon is, yet again, DSP's way back on Twitch. Asmongold, whether you know, vertently or inadvertently, may very well, or purposely, I should say, may walk DSP right back on the Twitch again. You know what I'm saying? We just got to get there, because Kick isn't doing it no more. Kick is done. That run is over. DSP can sit over there and try to, you know, scrounge around for as many pennies as he can, but that's over. And it's been over for a minute. That's the reason why he's so committed to the Pokemon shit. With that being said, and this is just my own personal opinion, DSP hasn't given up WWE champions. He may not have thrown any money at it, but I'm confident that he's probably still doing his daily logins. He's still getting his daily rewards. He's probably just throwing no real cash at it, but he's still playing it because it's all repetition. Gacha games are made like that for a reason. It's a habit. It's part of his routine. He may not be throwing nearly as much money at it though. Pokemon cards gives him way more dopamine on multiple levels. Not only the money that he can grift from them on screen, and the money that he can pull from it, and then how mad or how much attention he can bring from people to do it, but plus God knows what kind of dopamine hit he's getting off screen. And he's already set that whole situation up. Let me stop, because I don't even know if that video's out yet. That was me talking about the third time DSP admitted that he was opening up cards off of off screen or off stream, and I had said that he's building, or he's laying down the foundation for the pattern of behavior where he gets them accustomed to doing that, as long as he pulls really good cards. And when I mean really good cards, anything over $10, $20, whatever. So that little setup that you see in the background, expect to see a few more of those. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to buy more of those. So sooner than later, we'll see. But that's my thoughts. So there is a justification behind a lot of that. So excuse me. So that's where Asmongold and Kino Casino come in the marketing scheme, if you will. Now, the main thing I want to point out to you is the dividing of the viewer base. That's where we're really at. And that's what DSP really needs. And that kind of falls into the whole thing on Twitch. As it pertains to gaming, no one wants to see DSP game on YouTube and Kick. He's dead. He's way dead over here. Going on Twitch without any of the partnerships, without any of the support or anything from Twitch directly is going to be rough. But he has a better chance of people giving him a look over there because of how notorious he is, or how infamous he is, to be honest with you, than he does on YouTube and Kick, to be honest with you. And there's way more moderation options that are available to him that he's already familiar with, he's already accustomed to, that would benefit him. The only thing is he just doesn't have the managed partnership or affiliate to do it, and he's too lazy to do it because he feels like he shouldn't have to. If he goes back to Twitch, some rules are gonna have to be bent for that to happen, unless he randomly says, hey, I'm gonna try to triple stream, if you will, which he can do it, he has the internet to do it, on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube for a week and see what happens. And if that's enough to get him to affiliate, which it will, then he might be able to push and see if he could get partner. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, like I said, like a week, maybe 2, whatever. And I'm sure he'll come up with some weird guides on why to do so. That's the only way that's going to happen. I don't see Asmon being able to get the rules bent completely for him. But he may, if he hits the qualifications, Asmon might be able to get him may be able to help him with the partnership in some way, shape, or form. We'll see. Excuse me. As it pertains to dividing the viewer base, though, same concept. Hey, these guys over here are supporting the Pokemon stuff. That's what's paying the bills. You guys want gaming shit, step the fuck up. Like, pure and simple. My understanding, too, is, by the way, is DSP had some rant about GTA over GTA Plus or whatever. I'm sure he was wrong about most of it, because he didn't actually read anything about it. He just probably went off of something he saw on a tweet or whatever. Well, I'll address that when I get to it. But he's going to have that take and whatnot. We'll see where that goes. And let me actually find out what the fuck he's even bitching about. And we'll go from there. But the reality is he's burnt out of games. The retro games are just too hard, right? He just can't play them. He can't beat them. And then the new games don't hold his attention. There's not enough of a dopamine hit, even if he hits the 150. It's not enough to keep him locked in. The cards do. And that's why he keeps flirting with this idea of being a Pokemon tuber. I could do it. Oh, you're unique, Phil. You do this in your own way. People keep gassing him up, sorry. And whether it's a troll or not, doesn't matter. It's still funny. But you can see he's already kind of flirting with that. Maybe that's what we do on the night stream. Maybe that's what we do on the morning stream. You have the what do they call it? DSP morning show, or it should be morning show, because it's just watching someone die slow. Or the Bottom Bitch podcast, aka the daily therapy session, and throw some Pokemon cards, and then do that, then do an extended Q&A, then do Pokemon stuff after the fact. And then the night stream, play games. Or the inverse. Go ahead and prep everybody with the Bottom Bitch podcast or the morning show or whatever the fuck. Then go ahead and do a Q&A and then drop it to 2 hours worth of gameplay, because he clearly doesn't want to do 4 hours anymore. And I don't know when's the last time he actually put out 4 hours worth of gameplay on a stream. And then at night, make it all Pokemon all the time. And then use a Pokemon game to piggyback off of. Whatever. And that's the best of both worlds on that. Because gaming isn't doing it anymore. It hasn't been for a while. So he needs something. And he sees that. And that's why, hey, Pokemon stuff is doing well. For you guys who want games, step the fuck up. And that right there is nothing even new. He's done that before. He did that when he was on Twitch. Hey, everybody on Twitch, they're giving me gifted subs or memberships, whatever. I'm getting tips. I'm doing good. But you guys on YouTube, if you guys want me to, that's a legacy thing. I'm doing that as fan service to y'all by putting the vids over there on YouTube. You guys still want that to happen, then you guys got to support the content in some way. Even if you only come to my stream, tip him, and then leave. Well, go to his stream and tip him, and then leave, whatever. But you guys got to support the content on YouTube if you still want it. If not, whatever. He's doing the same thing here between the gaming shit and the Pokemon stuff. If this content, if you really want this content, pay for it. Pay for it. With your money, with your time, and with your commitment to the vids after the fact. He wants a bunch of comments that kiss his ass or give him help. He wants a bunch of likes, and he needs a bunch of views. He needs 2,000 to 3,000 to 5,000 views per video. But even him, or even he, realizes that's not even a thing. Let's talk about how dead YouTube is, for example, for him anyway. Most vids can't even break 5 anymore. Even with the edited content, who cares who it is that did it? Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't even matter who edits the content at this point. But whoever, whether it's one dent or a bunch of them, that's not getting anywhere, because he says that it's not making enough money to even cover the cost of the edited content. So that doesn't mean anything. YouTube, for all intents and purposes, is dead. It's a legacy platform for him, and that's it. And it has no more value to it than that. He's got no choice but to run back to Twitch. And then he alienated himself amongst Pokemon YouTubers that now he's got to, yet again, fighting on 3 fronts. Now he's got to fight that shit. And those guys are making way more views than he is. So now he has to contend with that bullshit because he couldn't keep his mouth shut. Because just because some of these Pokemon guys, literally was like 1 or 2 at the time, had a criticism of you, instead of him attacking them, he should have been like, hey, they're going to do it their way, I'm going to do it my way, and just keep it, and just keep it like that. But he can't do that because DSP is not civil. You know what I'm saying? He has to be abrasive. He has to be ignorant. He has to be an asshole about everything. And it came back to haunt him. So now he's stuck in this really weird situation where he wants the acknowledgement. Let's go that route. He wants the acknowledgement of the Pokemon community, but he doesn't want the animosity and the backlash, even though he's already eating that because he brought it upon himself. It was easy when it was, I think Possum is his name, or part of his name. Big ups. He went ahead and he was like, yo, I follow, that being said, I follow Kino Casino. I follow Snort Hogan. I'm pretty sure he watches Snort Hogan too. Big ups. And big ups all him. And he's like, I know what kind of piece of shit this guy is. But when DSP actually attacked the Pokemon community and said, fuck y'all, I'm Darkside Phil, I'm gonna do whatever I want, all hooves in the air with this shit, they were like, all right then, fair enough. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want, then that's what you're gonna take. So he can't even build a foundation off Pokemon cards within the Pokemon community because he had already fucked all that up. And now the only thing he can hang over these dents who don't like the Pokemon cards and want him to play games is, hey, I could be a Pokemon YouTuber or even streamer if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. I want to share my passion and all the, you know, the whole little gay little spiel that he does and whatnot. But if you guys aren't supporting the game, you guys are pushing me towards this. It'll be your fault if I stop playing games or even stop playing games as much. You see what I'm saying? So that's what this whole situation was on the 23rd was about. Well, 22nd and 23rd. That's all it was. Fear monger, split the viewer base up. The Pokemon guys, you guys are great. For all you guys who want the game, step the fuck up. Step the fuck up and watch and show up to the streams. Give me money. Walk me through the, handhold me, I should say, or hoof hold me through these games to make it easier on me. So I can get through them faster so we can get on to the next games. If not, I'm going to keep dropping these games because you guys aren't supporting them, which means you guys don't want them. And if this other demographic comes in and is willing to pay me to do Pokemon unboxings, then that's what I'm going to do. Now, don't worry. There are new games coming out before the end of the summer, leading into the fall, so everything could still be good. But for right now, you guys failed. You guys didn't support what I was doing, and that's the reason why I had to pick up the Pokemon shit in the first place. It's basically your fault. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. That's what that whole spiel was, at least the way I see it. That's what this whole spiel was. It's not even creative because he's done something like this, or he's done stuff like this similar before. So anyway, that's my personal opinion on the situation. There'll be probably a few cuts in here where I could show you clips of this nonsense and mainly how he reacted to it and whatnot. If you got $700, I think anybody who's a fucking normal person would have much more of a reaction than he did. He didn't. He kept with the begging spiel while boasting that, hey, we just broke this record. Hey, we have 15 cards packs or 17 card packs to open or whatever the fuck. Hey guys, I need to buy more cards. It was completely and utterly Pokemon sided and or centric, or leaning, if you will. And yet again, anytime he addressed the actual gaming side of it, he basically put out the threat that, hey, I don't want to become a Pokemon tuber, but you're forcing it. Support the games. Stop fucking around. Support the games if you really like gaming. If not, I'm gonna do what pays me. Now, he gave them a glimmer of hope yet again by saying, hey, there'll be more games later on in the, later on in the summer, but we got to get there first. And any of you who've been around for any period of time, you've heard that. So you know what that is. You know what that sounds like. You know what that leads to. So anyway, that's my thoughts on it. that's my thoughts on it. I'll go over this actual video, actually probably right after this, but this needs to go out first because I want to get my thoughts out there before the weekend and the next stream that I do. So, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about that nonsense. But that's what I'm thinking. That's how it looks to me and whatnot. Silly is as silly does, to be honest. But I also, and let me add this too, because I do want to actually do a video on this. The whole Pokemon arc so far has been absolutely fascinating. Not from just how his addictions, not exactly how he responds to his addiction or how he reacts to it, if you will, but how quickly it developed and how hard it is for him to give it up and how hard he'll fight to justify it. Which actually shows you how ignorant he is too, because if you think about it, if he just came clean about WWE champions all them years ago, it wouldn't have been as impactful as it is now. Yeah, I beg you guys for money because I have this gambling addiction. Yeah, we would have laughed and mocked at him, and mocked him, which is what we did anyway. But Jesus Christ, he could have taken all that shit off of his fucking chest, but he couldn't. His need to win, his need to run around like some schoolgirl with all these secrets in his little diary means so much to him. The idea of him lying to people is the general belief that he has that he's smarter than people. I've put this puzzle in front of you and you're not smart enough to figure it out. And so I'm always going to be better than you. I'm always going to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of you. And there's nothing you guys will ever be able to do about it. His lying serves a purpose beyond just the fact of it lying. And to see how he combos that with his addictions is actually quite extraordinary, to be honest with you. It's absolutely mental illness though. You know what I'm saying? He was a sick person. He was a sick child. You know what I'm saying? Long before he came up out of the womb. Like he may have had mental issues, right? You know what I'm saying? He may have been born with problems, let's say it that way. But he certainly developed even more problems as he got older. And then came up with even more ways to justify how he's not the problem, but the world is the problem and everybody else in it. It's really, really extraordinary. Well, not really extraordinary. I mean, it kind of is. If you're fascinated by shit like that, it's probably extraordinary. But I think most people just think of it as it's just sad. It's sad to see an old man literally piss everything away just for this. But the reality is he doesn't have anything. If you really think about it, he doesn't have anything. His life is completely and utterly what you see right there on your screen now. It's that room. That's it. That is his life. The house itself doesn't mean anything. The other person living in it doesn't mean anything. She's a prop. The same thing in his shield, in window dressing. Jasper, yet again, doesn't mean anything. He's a prop. He can be replaced. Just like all the other dead animals, you know what I'm saying? That whole fucking pet cemetery we have in the backyard. All those animals are replaced. Or replaceable. They were, theoretically. If the DMs are true, of course. If the DMs are true, of course. They're all replaceable. They're all just props. At the end of the day, if he comes on screen, on stream in more ways than one, and he can show you some moniker of success, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. His life only has value from the time the stream starts, between the stream starting and ending. That's it. After that, he looks at, when he's off stream, he thinks he's another loser, nobody like the rest of us. And that's why he had that whole retiring at 30 rant. Because he looks at normal people as just fucking losers. They're wastes of life. He doesn't know how to relate to people anymore. He doesn't even want to try. That's why this Pokemon addiction means so much. That's why he has to have his little cardboard back there to show how fucking lucky he is, or how he's not wasting all of his money. There is some type of payback, or payoff, if you will, to only justify him keeping it going, keeping the grifting going, keeping the lying going, keeping the addiction going. Anyway, it's just my own opinion. All right, people, this has been, I'll name this segment later, GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Like I said, I'll have some inserts in here where you know, just to kind of help tell the story, but it is what it is. That's my initial thoughts and whatnot. Like I said, we'll see how this makes it through the summer. We'll see how this makes it through the summer, to be honest. But I will say this: he needs Twitch. He needs to go back to Twitch. Even if he's gonna get humiliated for the same dumb shit he's doing over there, it gives him the attention that he wants. At the very least, he'll make, even though he'll only get paid 50-50, he can still, or someone else on his behalf, could probably get him into a 70-30 deal. And now that I know what I know now, that 70-30 deal is very, very common over there. You know what I'm saying? It was even more well, it was selective back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Because you had esports contracts that were like 70-30s, right? And stuff like that. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that DSP did have a 70-30 deal back in the day. You know, back when people were speculating it, it got slapped down. But when you really look at how many people that were watching out for DSP, that worked for Twitch, I should say, right? Or even if it wasn't the amount of people or the quantity of people, the quality of people, meaning where they were at in the pecking order, he was getting away with quite a bit. More so than I think most people are willing to admit. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, people, like I said, it's been, I'll name the segment later, GTG spits that grease, so on and so forth. Take care of yourselves, people. Take care of yourself. And remember, beat your dents and beat your lolcows and beat them often. For real, for real. Beat them and beat them often. Belt to ass every minute of the day. And don't ever let them forget it. Take care, people. Later.